Hey everyone, Lazy Fire here. Welcome back to the third and final volume of the Adventures of Gunslinger Joe. Now, I know I said I was going to do this as a blind LP, and I did volume 3 blind once, and yeah, it turns out 3 hours of sleep plus having nothing but beer as your calorie intake after a run is not a good combination. So I'm gonna go do it again for you now, where I don't sound like I'm basically falling apart in my chair. So that'll be good, right? I think that'll be good.
You stay here, Papa. Rest up, okay? Go on, raise some hell, son. After Springfield, I traveled across the Midwest. I was a man on fire, burning with a singular purpose: to destroy Roderick Metzer. I was a hunter, a predator, following a trail of blood. And my prey led me to the Topeka Space Center in Kansas. The fire was burning ever brighter inside me, but I knew I was in for a heck of a fight.
Oh, and that
Metzer had caught a case of the jitters, hiding away in the high-security Space Center in Topeka. There was no place left on Earth for him to run.
So, one of the things I should mention now is that I missed an upgrade in one of the other areas, and you're going to see me just automatically have the nail gun here, as you can see in the bottom right. So, interesting that they do that. Let's pick up more stuff. Come on. Yeah, my instincts to pick up everything that isn't bolted down have not changed. I like how the game is still telling me, hey, do this to pull out extra weapons. Oh. Last time I did that, there was a guy like that. So one of the things I absolutely love about the DLC here is how fucking effective the ramshackle is. And I'll keep mentioning that because it's just a lot of fun to run into guys. Like, I feel like they upped the damage on certain things and downgraded it for others for the DLC, which is fine by me. I feel like that's a totally viable solution. Would you just try to kick me? Fuck you. And yeah, I mean, that's how effective this thing is. And I'm also going to make another statement here. I am now, after having played through this segment of the game already in advance, and having played through the rest of the DLC, or this specific thing, yeah, I really think that Joe is not ever meant to go stealth for very long, if at all. Just, you'll see, but the fact that he has no silenced weapons and that the cans he throws are not overly effective as, you know, killing blow dealers, let's say, it kind of adds up. That said, I am totally throwing a bunch of fucking cans at people. Ah, hey, the conf pistol. I will almost immediately forget that I have this. Well then. Yeah, we want the shotgun for this segment. There are a lot of Nazis in here. Like, kind of a lot of Nazis. See? And, yeah. Shotgun is going to be very helpful. God damn, is it? It's still good, and it still doesn't have the final upgrade. Did I just knock that guy over? I guess Joe does have that ability to do more damage with thrown weapons, and a grenade counts as a thrown weapon. Okay, sure. Like, the logic checks out as far as, you know, video game logic goes. I'll not dispute it. It was pretty cool to watch that guy get beamed in the face and fall over and then get blown up. I feel like maybe he shouldn't have announced himself like that. He probably could have gotten a little further in life. Or lived a little longer, maybe. I don't know. Take cans. Cool. Maybe that's what the point of the cans is. You can get better grenade kill. Those guys are not very smart, I'm starting to think. Just need to see if I can find a few more grenades. I did run myself out of them in that sequence there. I'm trying to use them more. I feel like I've done a pretty good job on that. I also think I wonder... Yeah, no. There is no silencer. Anyways, let's get in here.
Bastard's office. Could still smell him in here. Smelled like a dentist's office. Made me never want to see a dentist again.
So, yeah. Welcome to Metzger's office. There's not a ton to do in here. It's really just kind of set dressing. And you can see he's a big old record fan. He's collecting a lot of these things. He's got spacesuits. Because, you know, whose office doesn't have a spacesuit in the Space Center, right? Yeah, the funny thing about this, let me just throw this out here. My wife works for the company that makes the US spacesuits. And according to her, every one of them's custom. So I wonder what the Nazis know about spacesuit manufacturing that we don't today, that allows them to make spacesuits that don't need to be custom for each person. Ah, interesting side note, I guess. Let's hit this button.
Gentlemen of the Oberkommando, a vulgar display of force is the only way to end the American resistance growing in the Midwest. The Sun Conveyor, aka the Sun Gun, orbiting Earth, will soon be operational. I propose going to Venus, where I can coordinate an attack that will set fire to everything within the borders of Region 2 and 3 of the American territories. Yes, the place would be uninhabitable for many, many years. But I think you all agree it would be worth it. Thank you for listening, and I look forward to your decision. Auf Wiedersehen.
So, Metza had flown the coop to Venus, hedging his bets on destroying America. Well, I wasn't gonna let the game end like that. I had to find a way inside that launch station. Maybe there was a hidden opening somewhere.
Yeah, you can see me getting guns ready. So, when I did this the first time, it literally took me about 6 minutes to figure out, maybe I should just check my my map and see what the game wants me to do to get out of here. Because I couldn't figure it out on my own because I'm not very smart. And also I was, like, maybe a little dehydrated. Anyways, it's this thing. Those shadows were weird.
Dass wir seine besten Soldaten wären.
Wusste ich doch. Aber warum sind wir da nicht?
Wir sind wahrscheinlich zu
We
gut.
really need a upgrade for the grenade launcher.
Um ehrlich zu sein,
Barely have ammo for it.
das Essen Essen da oben soll schlimmer sein als das amerikanische. Den ganzen Tag starrt man nur auf Steine. Da gibt's nicht mal Terroristen zum Abknallen.
Der Führer soll angeblich die ganze Zeit da oben sein. Stell dir mal vor, den Führer zu treffen.
Stell dir lieber vor, dich auf deine scheiß Arbeit zu konzentrieren, Albert.
Oh, tut mir leid.
Don't know if these guys move at all. This drove me nuts when I played through it the first time too. 'Cause it's like, there's a couple of areas that are like, stealth through me, bro, and you can't because there are two guys who just stand next to each other. Like, they finally figured out that there's safety in numbers. Just took them 2 games, a DLC, and part of this DLC to figure out, oh, if we all hang out really close together, he can't actually get us all. Bye, bruh. So one of the things I've noted about this DLC is that they might have done something to the AI, because the commanders, wow, okay. The commanders now actually will get out of whatever hidey hole they're in and come after you, like we saw there a second ago. I mean, that one guy not so much, but they'll do it. Okay, wait a minute. I just saw a shiny thing. No way. Ah. That's great. Hey, is that a grenade? No. That was actually pretty good. I did not realize that was there. That's, like I said, adding secret areas and stuff back to the game through the DLC is one of those welcome features. And I'm going to stop saying that, because I think that was the last one in the whole thing. Can't get under there. And, good. Just tap the E button at everything that's not nailed down. Oh, hey, shotgun ammo. Health. Don't quite need the health, though. I kind of wish that they would institute, and maybe they'll consider it in the Youngblood standalone game, is maybe incorporating, you know, excess health packs or something like that as a usable item. It's not like it would be completely out of the realm of possibilities, but sometimes you just don't want to wait, or you don't have really the capacity to go find a new one. So you kind of just wish you had some that were usable immediately. But whatever. Not too worried about it. Let's go down there. Oh, there's ass-kicking music playing. Oh, that means there will be ass-kicking. Okay, so get ready for this sequence. He's right behind me. He was right behind an explosive barrel. Survived that shit. Now, everything is nailed down once again. Looks like a boss arena down there, doesn't it? Yeah, you'd be right. Let's do this. The first time I played this DLC, and that dude came flying out from behind me, holy shit, scared the hell out of me. And almost killed me there. I also just like dominated him the first time. I don't know why I had trouble there. Where are you, friend? Whoa. Having the foreknowledge is nice, I'll be honest with you. Just getting surprised by those guys who've literally never dropped from the sky or anything like that in any of the other segments of this game. Getting surprised by them is a little awkward. It's just like, what the fuck? Where is that? What the hell? Usually there's like a build-up before these guys show up. Instead, it's just like, what's up? Eh. Not that I'm complaining. Like I said, you want to have new and different experiences in the DLC. You don't want it to just be rehashing the exact same thing you experienced for, oh, let's say 60 hours in the single player, if you're me. Good to know. Alright. As much as I want to carry that thing into this next room. Where's that thing go to? What are you part of, friend? Like, there's nowhere for me to climb to. Hi. See, this is another one of those situations where I honestly think the game does not want you to stealth. Alright. So yeah, again, I don't think the game wants you to stealth. Why name a guy Gunslinger Joe if he's gonna be a stealthy guy? And there goes Commander Lee. Like I said, they're a bit more aggressive here than they are in the main game. How did you die? Well then. Alright, let's back up a step or two while these guys get onto the scene here. Oh, I still don't have any grenades. And I'm standing next to an explosive fire extinguisher? Yeah, maybe that's a bad plan. Alright. Whoa, whoa.
I had to find something to hide in. Play the stowaway game on board a ship to Venus.
Alright. Well, before we go to Venus, let's make sure that we're stocked up. You never know when your next resupply is going to be, you know? Hey, oh. Hey, ammo. Pretty good. Ooh, armor, too. Well, yeah, as you can probably guess based on what Joe just said there, we're going back to Venus. And it's still the same 70s retro future Venus, so not a lot to say about that fact, but you'll see it in a moment. I don't plan on doing too much more stealing because there's nothing left to steal. We've done it all. So, hop down here. Oh, hold on. Nothing? Nah. I feel almost cheated now. I just figured because you could climb it, it would mean that there was something there, but no luck. Even, you know, I got jerked around by the last one. Jesus Christ. Pick up that can, please. How many canned goods do you think there are on Venus? Don't, oh well. Let's get out of here. We are going to finish this DLC, or at least this chapter today, so don't worry about that. This is not the end of the episode.
Going into space, I realized I was signing my death sentence. This was a one-way ticket. End of the line for Gunslinger Joe. But I had to keep moving. I had to keep fighting. For Papa. For America. Felt like an eternity had passed by in that container. My body ached. I didn't even know up from down. I just knew I had to get out, find Metza, and stop him from using that sun gun.
Cannot believe I whiffed that can as hard as I did. Alright, let's see. Once again, just grabbing everything I can. I don't really understand why you would ever use the pistol while playing this DLC. Like, you get the SMG almost immediately. Oh, hey, canned goods. They knew Joe was coming and they stored up canned goods. Oh, interesting point. Nazis and canned goods. Maybe it's not that interesting or even relevant at this time, but there's this whole thing where, to justify invading Poland, there was this,
Teile für die Steuerung des Sonnengewehrs?
Absolut.
Und warum liegen die hier einfach so rum?
Weil die Frachtbesatzung Mittagspause macht.
Überkommandant Metze sollte mal ein Machtwort sprechen.
Ich weiß nicht. Seine Anwesenheit allein ist Machtwort genug. Das für einen Amerikaner.
Er war mal Mitglied beim Ku Klux Klan. Hast du das gewusst?
Nein. Echt?
Alles in Ordnung?
are you kidding? Go back to your conversation. I'm not even here. Fine. I have no idea how they actually heard me there, but they did. Alright, let's go eliminate some commanders. Anyways, there was this whole... there was a fake attack on a radio station, and it was supposed to implicate that the Polish army was trying to start a conflict with Germany because Hitler definitely loved his false flag attacks and stuff like that, and always wanted to look like he was being aggrieved rather than being the aggressor. Anyways, so the term, they were going to do this false flag attack on, and they did actually do a false flag attack on one of their own radio stations, and oof. And the whole thing, it's kind of farcical now, but what they did was they had concentration camp prisoners, or well, prison camp prisoners, I guess, at the time, act as some of the Polish people that were attacking the station, and they killed them in advance or right on site with an injection, and you know, laid them down, then shot them a couple of times, make it look like they were killed in the assault. And the term they used for these guys to refer to them in the code words were canned goods. And so every time I throw a can, and you know, it's just like in my head, that's what I'm hearing is, hi, that's what. Ooh, seems hard to find. But I just keep thinking canned goods whenever I'm throwing a can now. That was a long and winding story that ultimately led nowhere. Let's continue on though. Nothing here. Yeah, nothing here. They do add a couple of like side rooms and a couple of new textures to this whole area. But for the most part, this is just your, you know, typical Venus. It still looks really cool. Still looks really cool. But just, they didn't really do much different, so don't worry about that. And now our shotgun fires 3 rounds at a time. Oh yes. And of course, we're outside again. Now, an interesting thing, and I have to still go back and watch the video about this, or on this one, but I think that they screwed up something. If you watch the HUD, if I overcharge my health enough, it'll actually intersect with the cooling bar. I don't think it did that in the main game. So they made some adjustments there, I think. But I could be wrong, and I just didn't notice it. Ah! Jesus Christ. I didn't have to stealth this area, but you don't have to. Joe, gonna give you a heads up. Not effective. Maybe Joe just thinks you have to like spray yourself down with coolant. Alright. Oh yeah, sliding. A thing that I literally did not do all throughout the LP. Can I slide tackle people, do you think? Oh, I should mention that... Hi. Well, now I'm gonna die trying this shit. And already, I didn't even get all the way into that room, and it's already like, yeah, no, we're coming for you. And this, by the way, is a bit of a bullshit section, and I am going to die. Where are you going, grenade? Might have enough time to fill up a little bit here. Okay. Okay. Could have been a lot worse. Alright, good. Yes. Let's go find that Commandant. Whoa. There we go. Effective. Throw a grenade at me point blank. Yes. That did not go as badly as I thought it would. Last time I was at like 2 health when I cleared out this area. Yeah, it was ugly. Whoa, where are you going? I completely lost control of my mouse there. And I just kept walking forward. I wonder if it was just too many inputs. I actually hate to say this, but I actually had a wireless mouse and keyboard at one point that just for whatever reason would occasionally decide not to register inputs or to register inputs once too long, and I had to get rid of it. And that was one of like the 10 mice I've had since I built my computer the first in 2014. I love the fucking ramshackle and the fact that I never ever have to worry about getting knocked over by exploding things. That's pretty nice. Makes me play a little bit more recklessly than maybe I should. I mean, I have 160 health. I feel like I can get away with it a little bit. I can't imagine why that section's there. Oh, hey. I didn't find that the first time. Cool. Aw. Someone's outside. Man, I forgot you could break those. The game forgot you could break those. Didn't put anything in them. And shotgun ammo. Trip was totally worth it. Alright.
Oh, shit.
I thought you were dead, Joe. Persistent. Just like your worthless father, slaving away down in those awful Hillsborough mines. And look where his persistence got him. 6 feet under.
Alright. Well, we've murdered most of the bad guys in this area. Which means we can take on the big guys.
My father was a preacher, Joe, and at night the Grand Dragon of the Ku Klux Klan. I remember asking him once, Father, how do you know white folks are better than Negroes? He said, use the gray goop in that little head of yours, son. I am ordained to commune with God. You see, Joe, God is on our side. Stop that chimp.
Okay.
Stay out of my way.
Fuck. I'm dead. Yep. Oh well. So we got Metzer's whole thing. Now, if
Oh, shit.
I thought you were dead, Joe. Persistent. Just like your worthless
we need to get through this quick.
down in those awful Hillsborough mines. And look where his persistence got him. 6 feet under.
There is plenty of time to take that guy out, because he's not that difficult as you saw.
There was a preacher, Joe, and at night the Grand Dragon of the Ku Klux Klan. I remember asking him once, Father, how do you know white folks are better than Negroes? He said, use the gray goop in that little head of yours, son. I am ordained to commune with God. You see, Joe, God is on our side. Stop that chimp.
Stay out of my way.
There, easy. Much easier this time.
Gunslinger Joe does not leave here alive. You hear me, you worthless worm?
The Venus heat was making me sweat worse than two-a-days in August. Fleeting memories. Not much to hold on to. Only the winds of hate carried me forward.
So yeah, that was more or less the boss fight for this DLC.
Someone explain to me why this football bastard isn't dead yet.
Oh, we're getting some of that good old Venus slowdown. Awesome. So, that is going to more or less do it for the Adventures of Gunslinger Joe. We just have to get upstairs. And, yeah, see, look in the middle there at the bottom. You can see how everything's overlapping right now. Just gotta get up to our objective, And I'll see you guys on the other side of the cutscene.
Oh, this is what they call poetic justice, Joe. You could have had a decent life, taking a dive on the field for the Reich. Now look at you. A limp dish rag groveling on the floor. Before I shoot your brains out, any last words?
Why haven't you fired the sun gun yet?
The Sonnengewehr? Oh, that's not operational yet. Are those your final words, slave?
Hell no.
No. But this is... Go long, you Nazi bastard. I laid into that son of a bitch just like my papa taught me all those years ago. For him and all brothers and sisters who had suffered at the hands of the Nazis. Metza was finally dead, and I was pretty roughed up myself. Just when I thought the game was over, it looked like we were going into overtime.
Alright, so that is the Ballad of Gunslinger, or well, the Adventures of Gunslinger Joe. I don't know if I said ballad, but I did. So let's take a look at the stats real quick. Obviously, I did not play this DLC for 27 hours. Let's hold off on that. We did complete the volume. We got a bunch of stuff. 3 compound kills. 3 can kills. I mean, it's nice that they actually track all this shit. It's kind of neat, actually. But yeah, that is more or less it. And next time we'll be going into the Diaries of Agent Silent Death. Thanks for watching, everyone. See you then.